Good evening, Grizzlies. We hope you've had a good start to the new semester, and we're glad to have you back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zach Roberts.
And I'm Benny Patterson. We look forward to providing you the news around Franklin College. Throughout the semester, we hope you'll stick around.
We've all seen movies about saving the frat, but what happens when a fraternity actually loses the house? After giving up their house to the Phi Delta Theta fraternity, Tau Kappa Epsilon is wrapping up a make-or-break recruitment week regarding the future of their fraternity.
With student and alumni concerns surrounding if Tau Kappa Epsilon will remain a fraternity on campus with the recent decline in enrollment, President Zen Stripling urges that recruitment is going great within the chapter.
We always look for quality over quantity, but I would say right now we're looking for a balance of that. I would say that's probably the biggest difference. We had a lot of seniors last year, and they all graduated, so now we are a majority of the junior class.
President Stripling is still optimistic that pledge numbers will increase.
Last year, I believe we had about 15 to 17 members, and now we are around 3 or 4. Those numbers should be expected to go up. I'm Zen Stripling, president/preakness of Tau Kappa Epsilon, Rho Upsilon chapter here at Franklin College. Rush Teak, and Better Men for a Better World. Come see what we're all about.
With the Franklin Newscast, I'm Eric Molinix.
While Tau Kappa Epsilon works to recruit brothers, the Franklin College track and field team is recruiting a new head coach. The search for a new coach begins shortly after coach Demetrius Bailey stepped away from the program. He had worked at Franklin College for over a decade.
Franklin's track and field teams are heading into the school year without a head coach after Coach Demetrius Bailey stepped away from the position over the summer. Athletic Director Andrew Hendricks says that it was sad to see Bailey step away, but fully supports him in his next career.
I mean, I really enjoyed working with him, and I've known him for, probably close to 10 years.
Last year ended up being a fairly successful one for the Grizzlies.
Overall, as a team, we did really well. At least coming out of COVID, we did a great job. Everyone really stepped up coming out of COVID seasons. So, overall, really happy with them.
Now, before their official season starts, the upperclassmen on the team have taken to getting everyone in shape before practices start in a few weeks.
We started a group chat with us seniors of what our plan is, so we can let other people know. Especially with not having a coach, someone's going to have to kind of take the role. And I don't think any of the younger classmen would do it. So we've been on it pretty heavy, Zach and I especially.
Getting the right coach with the right qualities is a huge piece of the puzzle to creating a team.
Good leader is always important. Someone that can rally the team together, because in the past we've kind of struggled with kind of getting off track sometimes at practice. So having someone that can just rally everyone together, but also be understanding and fun. Because although we are here to win and compete, it is D3, so having a level of understanding of that is also very important.
Hendricks says the search for a new coach is already underway.
We haven't posted an exact timeline, but we've started interviews. I would imagine, within the next few weeks, we'll probably have a new track coach well before indoor track season begins.
Only the future knows what's in store. For the Franklin Newscast, I'm Zane Spangler.
Luckily for the track and field team, there is some good news. The men's cross country team has gotten off to a running start this year and should be competitive on the course in the fall and the track in the spring.
The season for FC men's cross country is underway. The Grizzlies began the season strong with a second-place finish at the Hanover Invite. Fresh off their second meet in Terre Haute, Coach Brendan Dorach reflects on the early season and the goals they aim to accomplish.
We were at Hanover. There's 10 schools in the HCAC. 5 of them were at that meet. On the men's side, we beat every other HCA school that was there. Earlham was the defending champions on the men's side from last year. We beat them. When you can beat the defending champ from the previous year. So I think that kind of gave the guys some extra juice. I think the season is a success if we for a top 3 at the conference meet. I think that's really what I'm looking at. And if we do our thing, I don't see 3 other teams beating us at the end of October.
For the Franklin Newscast, I'm Benny Patterson. Unfortunately, the football team has not had as much success. Starting the season 0-3, they look forward to turning the ship around as they start their conference schedule this Saturday.
The Franklin College football team dropped their home opener at Fott Stadium to the Trine Thunder. The Grizzlies had a strong start and were able to hit pay dirt first. However, due to a costly interception, the Thunder were able to return it for a score, knotting the game at 7. Trine continued to pull away from the Grizz as the game went on and eventually took the win with a score of 55-21. Despite the loss, the Grizz and head coach Alan Hensel are still keeping a positive outlook.
A lot of growth to be had, especially when you're playing good teams like what we faced, especially trying last week. Defensively, we showed really good stops on 4th down, forced some field goals. We forced them to put the ball on the turf 4 times, but I thought we were tackling better than what we've done. Offensively, we were able to play multiple running backs. Jared Gibson's playing at a really high level right now. Do some things that I think we can definitely build off of.
The Grizzlies are on a bye week and have some rest to look forward to before they're back in action on the road. The Grizz will clash against the Bluffton University Beavers in conference play on Saturday, October 1st. Kickoff is set for 1:30 p.m. For the Franklin Newscast, I'm Zane Ballinger.
Is it ethical to ban someone from saying unethical things? The former president of the American Civil Liberties Union doesn't think so, and came to Franklin College to argue the importance of free speech.
Author and advocate traveled to campus last week to discuss one of our First Amendment rights, freedom of speech.
I think it's really, really important to acknowledge that the problems have been coming from both ends of the political spectrum.
Nadine Strassen's talk on why we should resist hate speech with free speech instead of censorship. She covered a variety of topics from her time with the ACLU. In light of Banned Book Week, she mentioned several classics that have been challenged for their content.
Huckleberry Finn because of the use of racist epithets, and I think it's one of the most anti-racist books that's ever been written. Of Mice and Men and To Kill a Mockingbird because of supposed white savior narratives, and I deplore that. I mean, by all means, critique the books, discuss them, debate them. Maybe Twain shouldn't have used that language, and maybe it is a white savior narrative. But the answer is more discussion, not to remove the books.
Sophomore Bailey Saber said she came for a class and ended up really enjoying the discussion.
My biggest takeaway was I think she talked about ethics without saying anything about ethics. In a weird way, like moral values and things like that, and how there's going to be a fine line of free speech and ethics without even, like I said, mentioning ethics at all.
For the Franklin Newscast, I'm Alexa Shrake.
Well, it was short, but we hope you all enjoyed our first newscast back this year.
It's good to be back, Zach. As the semester continues, we look forward to adding a weather segment, along with additional content for all of you. I'm Benny Patterson.
And I'm Zach Roberts. Good night, Grizzlies.